Hi guys, James at Rampant Lion Reviews again for you today with another beer review. For this one we are going to head up to Helsingborg here in Skåne in the south of Sweden once again, and we're going to have a look at another new brewery who I've never tried anything from, but apparently these guys have had some really good reviews, so looking forward to this. So for the first time we are going to go to Benchwarmers Brewing Company, and this beer has one of the more kind of inventive names that I've seen recently. So this one is called the What Does a Gay Horse Eat? It's an oatmeal IPA, which again is another kind of unusual style that I've never come across, and this one comes in at 5.6%, so it should be a really kind of interesting beer, this one. Very curious to see how this one turns out. So anyway, as is usual with my reviews then, I'll tell you a little bit about the brewery. If you want to get straight to the tasting, just fast forward. All the usual links are in the description below. That's the brewery website, link to my other reviews that I'll do in the future, hopefully, from Benchwarmers Brewing Company. Like I said, very first time I'm trying one of their beers. There's all the usual social media. If you want to see more beer reviews, do please consider subscribing to the channel. The whole channel, of course, has a geography-based tagging system, so you can go into the homepage and search for beer based on country, city, state, county, prefecture, whatever it is you're interested in. Do check out the playlist of beers from different countries. There is one there for all the Swedish beers that I've reviewed for you. That's constantly being added to, and as always, please do get in touch and let me know some of the other beers and breweries that you guys would like to see me review. It's always great to hear from you guys that are watching the videos, and the support that you show the channel is hugely appreciated. So anyway, on to my brewery notes then. So Benchwarmers Brewing Company is owned by two childhood friends. This is Magnus Svensson and Anders Nilsson. So Magnus is an owning partner in Brewdog's operations in Sweden, and he comes from a background in customer service, while Anders, he's worked various jobs, but he spent a long time working for an online web store apparently. But both are childhood friends, and they're from Helsingborg originally, and they set up the company together back in 2016. So they do have their own brewery, which is in the south of the city. It actually looks as if it's, you know, quite nicely set up. It does look like a nice little operation that they've got going on there. But they say that they named the company Benchwarmers because they apparently spent a hell of a lot of time sitting on benches drinking nice beer, as they put it. But in the summer this year they also opened up the brewery as a kind of tap room and grill, if you like. So they were selling burgers, and they were letting you try all their different beers. I think it was every Saturday or every Sunday that they were opening up the brewery as a sort of tap room there. But the beers have had very good reviews. They've been well received, and this, as I say, is the first time that I'm going to be able to try one for you, so I'm very curious to see what these guys have put together. I think they've been home brewing for a number of years as well before they actually started the company. So yeah, an interesting brewery, this one. And like I say, this is one of the more unusual both names of a beer that I've come across recently and styles. I don't think I've ever come across an oatmeal IPA before, so we'll need to see how this one goes. But yeah, that's all you really need to know about the brewery just now. Very new, founded back in 2016, but you can check out the brewery website in the description below, and you can also follow them on Facebook and keep up to date with their latest goings on. But they've got a good few beers out there now. They're available to order on Systembolaget throughout the whole of Sweden, and I think they're on the shelves only in the Helsingborg stores, but you can order them anywhere else. But yeah, little look at the artwork for you again there. There you can see the fabulous gay pink horse in the background there with the rainbow. It's not quite a pride rainbow, that actually. But yeah, there you can see the Benchwarmer on the top of the bottle cap there. But yeah, nicely presented beer. This one, it is colourful and it will catch the eye. So I guess without further ado, let's get this guy out and we'll get on with the tasting then. So yeah, 5.6% ABV this one, oatmeal IPA. See how it goes. Oh, you can smell some of the nice fruity notes coming off this, just as you open it up. I think it's like a sort of mango-y. I'm not sure actually. Smell the aroma that's coming off this one for me. I'm thinking either Citra or maybe Simcoe with this one. It's sort of passion fruity. It's Simcoe, I think, that's kind of sticking in the mind for me with this one. But yeah, as you can see with this beer, it's poured a nice pale golden straw colour. Look at that. Really nicely presented one. This 2 fingers of a solid frothy white head on this one. 1 or 2 big bubbles sticking towards the side of the glass, a few little ones going up towards the bottom of the head there. But you know, overall it does look pretty nice. I'm not sure what an oatmeal IPA would normally look like because this is my first encounter with one, but you know, this one, you know, it just looks like a kind of regular pale ale or something like that. It could also be a German Helles or something like that. It's got that kind of colour to it. But yeah, it looks very nice. If I stick my fingers behind the glass, you can see the beer isn't really transparent. It is quite an opaque beer, this one. But yeah, let's take a closer closer look at the aroma and just see how we get on with this one. Oh, that smells really nice actually. I think this beer's pretty fresh. Yeah, so for me, this one, it's the fruity qualities in this are really nice. I think it's got a little bit of a mango, kind of passion fruity thing to it. There's maybe a little touch of like a slightly orangey, tangerine note thing. I do wonder, I think there's maybe Simcoe in this, and there could be like Citra or Mosaic, something like that. It could be something like that. I mean, if it's passion fruit that's coming out of it, the other hop that it could be right enough is Galaxy from Australia. So it will be one of those, I would think. But yeah, nice juicy fruit. It's like I'm saying, it's mangoes, I think passion fruits as well, and a little bit of a tangerine orange. In terms of the grassy, sort of floral side of things of the hops, for me, this one, there is a little bit of a floral quality to it, but it's got a little touch of grassiness as well. More floral, though I would say definitely a little bit more spicy and floral. And the malt base on this one, I'm not actually getting too much out of it. I would have thought it would have quite a nice big smooth malt base. It said on the side they had Veta malt in this one, which is wheat malt. And you can smell a little bit of that. You can smell a little bit of that wheaty breadiness. But I'm not getting too much in the way of an oaty note. There is maybe a little touch of a biscuity sweetness to this one. But I mean, it's got a nice, the aroma really is more fruity than anything else. It's got a nice juicy kind of fruity quality to it. I would definitely say that about this one. But yeah, as I always say, just take a little bit of time and enjoy the aroma of the beer before you get stuck into it. That's always the interesting thing when it comes to these. So yeah, just take a little bit of time and enjoy the aroma of this one before you get stuck in. But this one is just to name it right, What Does a Gay Horse Eat? From Benchwarmers Brewing Company in Helsingborg here in Skåne in the south of Sweden. A 5.6% oatmeal IPA. It smells nice, looks nice, should be quite interesting. Let's get stuck into this one. Slange, skål. Yeah, I mean, the first impression I have of this one is that it's quite clean. I would say that about this. It's quite a clean tasting beer, this one. Yeah, I mean, thinking about this, it's almost somewhere between, it's not quite a New England IPA, it's not quite a white IPA, it's somewhere in the middle of those two. It's interesting. But I tell you something, I would drink it again. It's a nice enough beer, this. And it's the way that the malt base comes out is really interesting. So yeah, with this one, you can feel there's a little bit of that pale malty character, that goes right across the middle of your palate, but it's very, very smooth as well, and I'm guessing that'll be a mixture of the wheat and the oatmeal, and it's got a little touch of that kind of wheaty sweetness coming out of it later on as well. Yeah, I mean, it's really interesting how everything goes together in this one. Yeah, I mean, I like what this beer's trying to do. I'm just trying to figure it out, really. I think there's a little touch of a biscuity sweetness right in the middle of the palate. And as you go further out from that, you start to get the more kind of bready kind of notes to this beer. As I say, there's a nice wheat, smooth kind of wheat, almost sweet backbone to this. The wheaty character starts to come out a little bit more as you go further into the aftertaste. But I think the oatmeal that's in this one is really smoothing out that malt base, so it's a really interesting concept. That, as I said, I would never have thought to put oatmeal in an IPA. Normally you put oatmeal in a stout to give it the kind of smooth, creamy sort of flavour, but it does kind of do that. And you do get some breweries actually that are brewing white stouts and things these days, which are quite interesting. So maybe this one they're using the malt base of a white stout and just putting some hops and things in it, which you know, is kind of interesting. It's cool to see that they're experimenting like that, right enough. But yeah, hoppy side of things then, Back corners of the palate, you've got a nice little touch of earthiness there. As you come further forward along the sides of the tongue, it smooths out a little bit. You get a good little bit of a floral aromaticity, almost a little bit spicy on the front corners of the palate. Then round the very front curve of the tongue, it's a little bit lighter and grassy, I think. So yeah, nice little bit of kind of grassy flavour to this one on the front corners of the palate. Then behind the front curve of the tongue, that little oily bubble where the nice fruity juicy esters come out of the beer just really starts to come into play. It's just interesting. This is one of these beers, it's not kind of too punchy in any one regard, it's more all about how the different flavours just kind of fit together, and I like that about this one. That's what I like about it. So yeah, in terms of the fruitiness then, behind the front curve of the palate, I think there's a little bit of a kind of passion fruity note to this one. I do think there's a little bit of that slightly darker passion fruit note there, maybe a little bit of mango. I don't think I'm getting much in the way of a kind of orangey flavour. I'm doubting a little bit that there's mosaic in this one. I thought from the aroma there might have been mosaic in this, but I'm not certain about that. I think maybe it's maybe Citra and Simcoe, either that or Citra and Galaxy that's in this one. I think it's just 2 hops that's in this beer. Yeah, I think I would stick with that. I might be wrong right enough, but we'll see. Yeah, so I think passion fruits to this one, a little bit of a kind of mango-y note, and as you go further into the aftertaste, it's got a little bit of that almost lychee flavour, maybe a little bit of gooseberry as well. It's got those complexities that you'd normally get from the Citra hop. I'm pretty sure there is a good bit of Citra in this one, but it's a nice beer. That I might be talking a load of rubbish about the hops right enough, but I like how everything in this one goes together. Like I say, if you think of the sort of malt base that you get with white stout, it's kind of similar to that. It's not a white IPA, it's not a New England IPA. It's almost got a little bit of the smoothness from the New England IPA, but it tastes a little bit more like a white IPA, if that makes sense. It's a really interesting combination, this one, and it's a nice kind of easy drinking beer. I certainly wouldn't hesitate to drink it again. There's not really much you can compare this one to, because, you know, as far as I can think, I've not had any other oatmeal IPAs, so bear that in mind when you try this one. So in terms of the mouthfeel then, I'd say this one kind of, I don't know, yeah, fairly light bodied beer, this one. Carbonation has a little bit of a prickle to it. Overall a wet mouthfeel rather than anything else. Nice little bit of hoppy bitterness. Malt base, like I said, is quite smooth. There's a little touch of sweetness to it, and it's got some juicy fruity qualities as well. But overall, like I say, an interesting beer, this one. Not much else you can compare it to. The name's interesting. It's a new style that I've not tried, and you know, these are the kind of things that you want to review on YouTube here. So I'm really glad that I got to review this one. It's always cool to try something that's just a little bit different. So we'll leave it at that for this. A really interesting beer, that, and I do hope that I can try more from Benchwarmers Brewing. As I say, their beers have had good reviews, so I will need to try and get a few more of these for at some point to review. But yeah, let's leave it at that for this one. So this one was the What Does a Gay Horse Eat? An Oatmeal IPA at 5.6% from Benchwarmers Brewing Company in Helsingborg here in Skåne in the south of Sweden. Really interesting beer, that, so give it a go for yourself and see what you think. So yeah, once again, thank you for watching my beer reviews. Until the next time, please like, subscribe, share, all the usual YouTube stuff. Let me know your own thoughts on this beer in the comments section below. Let me know what your favourite beers are from Benchwarmers Brewing Company, and I'm sure I'll return to these guys in the fairly near future. But thanks again for watching, and I will catch you guys later. Skål.